Hello, welcome to another edition of Kitchen Closed. I'm Dan Nicholl, and together with BrightRock each week, I jump into my kitchen and then jump onto my phone, call one of South Africa's top chefs and ask them to help me out with a very simple recipe, while also talking me through how the restaurant world looks from their perspective as we count down those days until we get back out, back eating, and the culinary world returns to some sort of normal. And there's a very, very slim clue as to who I'm chatting to this week. The clue comes in this rather stylish Samuel L. Jackson style hat I'm wearing. This is one I picked up at St Andrews at the Open a few years ago, and it is a golf course that I have played with the chef in question, because although he is a cook, he's a far more enthusiastic golfer. I think that's probably what he's missing most at the moment. So I say hello not just to a chef, but one of my favourite golf partners. Hello, Reuben Riffel.
Dan, how's it going, man? You've got it spot on. I do miss golf a lot.
Do you miss more than being in the kitchen at your restaurants?
Well, I shouldn't be thinking about this one, but I really just, because it's been locked down, I kind of like miss just getting out there and, being with friends, that type of thing. I really miss that. But yeah, I really miss the restaurant as well. I miss the adrenaline, I miss the sort of action.
And it must be particularly different for you, because at last count, you've got 17 restaurants, you have a new TV series every week, a book every other week. Your life as an empire in the food industry is as extraordinary as it is inspiring. And all of a sudden, it's now just Reuben Riffel at home.
Yeah, but I have to say initially it was kind of not exciting, but I was looking forward to spending some quality time with my kids and to get to some stuff that I just don't get to at home, as you can imagine, most of us. But I think after sort of or at the beginning of lockdown too, it became a little bit more apparent that I'm going to have to find something to do. That's been kind of difficult, just to keep on going in a way.
Well, I'm providing you with some distraction and something to do today, because you're going to teach me how to make a dish. One of my favorite foods is salmon, and it's a dish that a lot of us cook, but there are always cool ways to do it and ways to improve upon it. And you've got a dish today that's not only fantastic, but it's also ideal if Tim Noakes ever comes around for dinner at my house.
Yeah. Look, the idea of it was never that it should be sort of like super healthy. The idea was that it should sort of be quick to cook, because salmon shouldn't be cooked for too long. I also like to cook it sort of almost medium rare and medium pinkish. And I love broccoli. And broccoli, we all grew up with it, where you cook it too long. And in this one, you cook it really very quickly and easy, and you get that nice green, deep broccoli flavor. And it's a very good combination with salmon, especially if you cook it this way. So, I love sort of like the Asian influence too, but sometimes the amount of ginger and chili and those things can become too much. So in this recipe, I'm using some miso. So you get that kind of like fermented soy flavor into this dish. But yeah, it's a simple combination of ingredients.
All right, well, let's get going. I've got all my ingredients prepared. I've been out shopping, went down to Pick and Pay, loaded up with everything you sent to me. So I'm ready to go. How does this dish start, Chef?
So Dan, before we get going, the important thing with cooking salmon, I'm sure you have a way how you like your salmon. I've got mine with the skin still on. So what I want to do is to get the skin nice and crisp. And perfect. Lovely. So put a bit of, you can add a bit of salt on the skin side, Dan, first. And then temperature, we just want, we're going to add some coconut oil into the pan. You don't want crazy high temperature. You want it sort of like medium high, so that you can increase it and your skin can start to crisp.
In goes coconut oil. I'll pop that on at a nice heat. And a little bit of sea salt just on top of the fish then.
Just some sea salt, and you can put some black pepper on as well.
I've seasoned my fish. My coconut oil is nice and hot. Not too hot, but nice and hot. Is it ready for the fish?
Yeah, so skin side down into your pan. Then what I do in the beginning, especially, I kind of like move it around just so it doesn't stick. Okay, so normally the idea is to cook the fish on the one side for about 3 minutes.
All right.
Oh,
how's that skin looking?
When it comes to lovely, that looks good, man.
So while the rest of my cooking there, Reuben, very quickly, I see in Franschhoek it looks like the chefs are getting together, and you guys have made an incredible effort to try and cook meals, help people, and support the community in some pretty difficult times.
Yeah, look, it's especially been driven by Chef Chris Erasmus, Foliage, and Chef Marco Janse. And initially, in the beginning, they called me up, and I also assisted them. But they've been really sort of increasing their effort over the last couple of weeks. I think there's a new kitchen now that they've set up a little bit even further away from town to assist other communities. So it's been amazing. I think everyone's been chipping in, a lot of the companies, the businesses, privateers from around here, and contact from all of us from overseas has been helping the guys out. So, but anyway, I think we can always do with some more help. I mean, this lockdown, we don't know for the restaurants when we can go back to work. Really, well, stage one is really still far, and people are talking about only sort of the beginning of next year. So that's very scary. I think the guys just want to get together at the same time, but at the same time for a good cause and do something for the community. So, I mean, that's been amazing.
Oh, good for you guys. Franschhoek, it's much needed. Thank you for doing it. It's also, with restaurants closed, a much needed requirement that we all get a bit better in the kitchen. So you're helping me and everyone watching to do exactly that. I think my salmon is just about done.
Okay, so you can get that out of your pan. Just put it to the side then. So just rest it not on the skin because you don't want the skin to go soft again. And then to that same pan, we're going to start adding our broccoli that we sort of, you can chop it up or you can put it into your food processor just to get it into sort of finer pieces like this. Yeah, perfect. So that goes straight into the pan as well.
Cool. So what I did with mine, I just got a big cheese grater and rubbed it through, and that seemed to work pretty well for me.
Perfect. You took the more difficult route.
The more professional route, Reuben.
Yeah. Dan, and then you can also season that and add just like 2 tablespoons of water to that, just to sort of steam at the same time while it's cooking.
Perfect. A little bit of black pepper.
Also salt and black pepper. I really like to cook this very quickly. I mean, I don't like it to, even if some of it is still sort of, a combination of raw and cooked, that's perfect.
All right, I think mine's just about done. I think I'm happy with it. I much prefer the al dente style.
Yeah, me too. Dan, and then you can sort of give it a little bit of lemon juice, just a little squeeze. And then we're going to add the spring onions into it, and then we take it off. And then just that chopped spring onions that you prepared earlier.
Voila. Okay. And just stirring that all up.
Lovely. Okay, and then we're almost ready for the sauce. That's also quite quick to make. I just want to have a taste here.
Oh, I can actually eat that on its own. It's that good.
Dan, you can do sort of chicken. You can serve chicken with it. Any other type of fish you can do with it as well. But yeah, as you said, I mean, it can be a side dish, instead of how you normally do your broccoli and cheese, for example. Okay, so the sauce. Do you cook a lot with miso, Dan?
I cook a little, and I think it fits into an increasing area of our general culinary experimenting as home chefs. 10 years ago, maybe a little bit more, Asian food meant a really thick, MSG-full chicken and pineapple, or allegedly sweet and sour pork, or some chop suey that had who knows what in it. But now I think we're appreciating a lot more of the subtlety of Asian flavors and working them into our everyday cooking.
Exactly. And I mean, now it's all available to us. Obviously, a lot of our chefs, well, even home cooks, they're following chefs from all over the world. And that's how these ingredients has become sort of like part of our almost normal repertoire. You know, it's the yuzus and the misos and mirin and all these type of things. So it's kind of like now not weird to see that in people's cupboards, for example. You know, if you go to some people's kitchens, I mean, that's part of it's next to the olive oil bottle or the balsamic. Actually, balsamic has sort of like taken a bit of a backseat. It used to be quite popular.
It's very pre-Corona. We're in the Corona era now. Far different.
Yeah, that's pre-Corona.
So you're making a miso sauce. I've already made mine because you sent me the instructions. But show me how you put it together.
Okay, Dan. So this is just a normal miso that you should be able to get it in any good sort of food store. Okay, Dan, and then a tablespoon of maple syrup, half a tablespoon of the soy sauce. I don't want it too salty. Some cayenne pepper, or you can use chili powder. I'm going to use half a lemon juice of that. And then just 2 tablespoons of hot water. So what you want to do is just want to shake this up. Give it a taste. So as simple as that. As you can, you can use oil, but whenever you use soy and miso especially, it's best not to use a high quality extra virgin olive oil. You can use sort of like a more mild type of olive oil, or even canola oil, because you don't want that sort of strong olive oil flavor. It doesn't really go that well with these flavors.
You gave me the ingredients and you told me I needed to shake it up in a jar. Often the case when we are cooking at home, we don't have everything that we'd like to have that the chef has. So I just didn't happen to have a clean jar. But what I did have was an old milk bottle from my little 3-year-old son, Aiden.
Yeah, man.
Gave it a good shake.
I hope your son doesn't use that bottle anymore. I don't think he's gonna like the taste of miso and soy. I've got to groom him onto Asian food, Reuben, and this is as good a start as any. Dan, but I think now you can sort of like keep that bottle for your next vinaigrette, man. I mean, that's going to be your party piece. The only thing is you're going to have to try and taste it through the little teeth. Can you do that?
Let's give it a go. This one. This is a professional piece of cooking you've seen on the internet since lockdown began. But here we go.
Nice one.
Ooh, I can live with the indignity of drinking this out of a baby's bottle if that is what is inside.
Yeah, maybe start a trend.
Okay, chef, so I've got my miso, I've got my broccoli rice, so to speak, I've got my salmon. What do I need to do to complete the masterpiece?
So now, Dan, we can just plate up. So just broccoli sort of like in the middle of your plate.
Perfect.
I see you've got quite a nice big piece of long piece of salmon there, a fillet. So this is going to be our lunch today anyway, so we're looking forward to it. So just there in the middle, salmon goes on top.
Ta-da!
And then just sort of drizzle your miso dressing sort of over and around it.
And please note, Chef, I'm using a very professional drizzler. You should invest in a few of these for your restaurants.
Yeah, listen, I mean, together with your long tweezers, you're gonna definitely look like a pro.
Send me to La Colombe.
Yeah. Then,
all right.
And then I've, the radish. So this is kind of like a combo of hot and cold. So we have some thinly sliced radish. I hope you got it nice and thin there.
Hold on, I should find the thinnest one I can. There we go.
Perfect. So just some radish around it. And then we finish it off with our lovely miso dressing. And that's it, man. The thing that you can add to it, you can add more chili or whatever, but as it is, it's tasty as hell, man. That looks good. Well done.
As always with plating, yours looks like it's sitting in the Louvre, and mine looks like I've just painted my house. But taste is not too dissimilar.
No, I think the taste will be exactly the same. That looks good.
Reuben, I'm really excited to have this dish in my armory. Can't wait to try it for my wife. Like me, she loves salmon. And I can't wait to eat it now for my lunch, which I'm going to tuck into very shortly. Before I do, and before we let you go and eat your salmon, what can we do to support the Reuben Empire? Are any of the restaurants open? Are you doing any deliveries or cooking or takeaways? And is there anybody else, another charity or maybe a small artisan food supplier or local bakery, somebody we can try and help and support during these times?
Dan, for us, at the moment, we're trying to just have a look the first 2 weeks how the delivery system will go. And we were also hoping that it would go to level 3 a bit quicker so that we can at least do takeaways. We'll start to open our one restaurant for the deliveries out at Valdevie. Joburg, not at the moment, and we'll try and do that here in Franschhoek. But yeah, if anyone can direct any help or funds to the Isabello Charity Fund here in Franschhoek, I think I'd really appreciate that. And yeah, my focus is really for us to be able to be in a position to reopen once everything hopefully goes back to normal. And then, trying to support our staff, because that's been an issue for them to be able to keep on going. It's going to be a long slog. And I'm trying to do different things to be able to support them and to keep them going at least. Thank you very much for also sort of highlighting, whatever we're doing down here.
Reuben Riffel, thank you. You've inspired us in the kitchen for many, many years. You've done so again today. Really appreciate the help and the advice, as does everybody watching. Good luck with managing tough times, and hopefully you're back in the kitchen soon and on the golf course as well.
Yes, Dan. Thank you very much. It was fun, man. We'll catch up soon.
So there we go. This week's episode of Kitchen Closed with one of South Africa's favourite chefs, Reuben Riffel. I'll be back again next week, back in my kitchen with another chef, another recipe, and another challenge for you to make in your own kitchen. Until then, stay safe and eat well.